Welcome everybody back to another episode of the LanceSCurv Show, the LanceScurv Show Podcast, LanceScurvLive, whatever you want to call it. Tonight, I'm going to speak in a non-directional manner. I never have a script. I never plan out what I'm going to say. I just say what I say. Just want to send a shout out to all of the YouTube staff who is trying to shadow ban me at every turn. You're going to have a hard time getting me tonight, but I'm going to speak between the lines. And so for those of you who know how I like to speak, you know now that I'm going to be going in on Patreon every day. And that's at patreon.com/LanceScurv. We're going to go in. And this show is not going to be 5 hours or 6 hours. We will open up the conference line afterward, but I may not stay there too long. Yes, welcome, Brianna, Master Glam, Mark Jefferson. I just came in. We had some problems with the light in my area. Every 3 days, they will be blacking out the area from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I will make arrangements to have my show later on than that. And then we had a little issue with our water. So we decided to take a walk out, get something to eat. We came back, didn't have enough time to really prepare a banner. Whenever you see me with this generic banner, that means I didn't have enough time to prepare a full banner, but I'll be working into the night tonight for sure. But it really, you know, like that lobster or frog that is in the boiling water, but before it becomes too hot. Sharina Lofton, welcome. Tracy Harris, how are you? How are you? My dear Tracy, I want you to come on to the show sometime when we talk, even though I know you're a little shy. I've been meaning to reach out to you, but I've been so busy. I'm so sorry. And there was a reason why I didn't put up any new Patreon today, but it will be up tonight. I'm going to put up a whole lot of those. But as a precursor to that, just want to say how I am just so sick and tired. And I want you all to read between the lines with me because YouTube is hot on me. They're just doing things so hard. They're removing subscribers. They're reducing the numbers, but my email catches it, you know? So if you realize that you're getting about 2,000 subscribers a month on your channel, but the actual analytics of YouTube tells you lost 120, or go figure. It's crazy. So this is why I want to let you all know that always go to LanceScurv.com and always go to patreon.com/LanceScurv. That's how we're going to do it. We're just going to use YouTube to get the people on board, and we're going to do our thing. That's what we got to do. But anyway, the title of this program is Government-Sponsored Perversion is the New Moral Standard Enforced on the Planet. And this phone is so loud over here. Let me turn this thing down. I'm going to say that title again. Now, I didn't say anything illegal, so let's see what they do. Government-sponsored perversion is the new moral standard enforced on the planet. Government-sponsored perversion. Now, what could be government-sponsored perversion? Perversion. You know what? Let's take this one nice and slow. Let's get into some cerebral foreplay with what we do here. Let's look up the definition of perversion. Distortion or corruption of the original course, meaning, or state of something. Okay. Number 2, sexual behavior that is considered abnormal and unacceptable. Let me hear that number 2 again. Right? This is from the Oxford Languages Dictionary. This is not me saying it. This is from the Oxford Languages Dictionary. And it's also me agreeing with it, but they have it in print. Okay. The second definition of perversion, sexual behavior that is considered abnormal and unacceptable. Now, family, maybe I'm getting old, but is there sexual behavior that is considered abnormal and unacceptable in this world? Is it? Because from what I'm seeing, everything is considered normal and acceptable. I'm reading out of the dictionary, YouTube. Read along. I know you want me bad. I'm going to say it a third time. Perversion. Okay, I'll read number 1 too. Distortion or corruption of the original course, meaning or state of something. Number 2, once again, let's throw some holy oil on these demons. Okay, sexual behavior that is considered abnormal and unacceptable. Well, according to the U.S. government, what is considered abnormal? What is considered unacceptable? There's a lot of things that the United States government pushes as acceptable and normal, but a lot of us are not buying it. A lot of us are not buying it at all. But too many of us are not opening up our damn mouths to say anything about it, because the way they have our vocal cords handcuffed, we can't. Yes, exactly, Sharina. I'm going to highlight that comment. Yes. Listen, they can't knock you if you're using their dictionaries. That's why I use them as well. Laughing out loud. Exactly. You know what I'm on tonight. And like I said, our Patreon will be totally uncensored. It will be. And I'm going to get on there tonight and create something to put up there. All right. YouTube has no jurisdiction over Patreon because I know they're watching hard. They're waiting for me, right? They want to take all that content down, and they're looking for a reason. They hit me with about maybe 200 copyright strikes today, but that doesn't take down your channel. That just makes it where, you have a reduced monetary gift, which ain't much every month for me now. But I'm at a point now where it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about telling the truth and getting this all together. So, America, the beautiful, so they say. You see, I have no problem with my people who are there in America. Just because I left and came over here to West Africa doesn't mean I hate my people there. I despise the system there. Okay, I despise the system there that's quite oppressive. And when you have an oppressive system in a free man, that don't mix. Because I'm moving free. And nobody's going to stop me from saying what it is that I have to say. But there are laws, and they have their bylaws and their platforms. Don't forget, don't get too relaxed on YouTube. If you say something that they don't like, or the people that are behind them don't like, guess what? They're going to knock you off. I remember when I had the Irritated Genie on last year, how they came after my website. This is not YouTube doing this. These are the powers that be, whoever the hell they may be. But I know one thing, they are perverse. And they do perverse things that in my mind and in my body and my heart and my soul, I know are unacceptable. But they keep pushing it. So there's going to be a collision course. But on YouTube and on most social media platforms, they're going to win because they can shut you up with their abnormal and unacceptable asses. You see what I mean? So they knew this was coming. And there are people in what they call high places. And I understand that in this engineered world of theirs, they will say it's high, but they hide behind all of the paperwork and legislature and all of these things that they push. But they are at the so-called top of that engineered system, the system that we really don't see. You see, most Americans and most people who live in societies where they vote, They really, really, really think that their vote counts. Your vote does not count. Most of the people pushing this ideology are the people who are in their own cloaked societies. And they want the masses of people, the majority of the people out there, to run up and down feeling that to vote in this perverse system will get them somewhere. Well, look where it's getting you. Look, those of you who have children, and you should be concerned even if you don't have children. See, those of us who do not accept this unacceptable behavior that's abnormal, read between the lines, is abnormal an illegal word to say or unacceptable? But you know exactly what I'm talking about. See, I'm playing with you tonight, YouTube, because I want to see what part of this you're going to use as an excuse to take this video down. Because there are many who are listening to this who don't want to hear it, but why the hell are you on it if you don't want to hear what I have to say? Because you feel you have enough power now to go after people like me. See, you're chastised in your spirit because you know the twisted, wicked, nasty things that you desire to do and that you desire for the world ain't right. And you ain't happy. Ain't none of them happy. But when they see you happy, they despise you and they want what you have. You see, so many of them endear themselves to black women. See, they envy you, black woman. They want to hang around you, black woman. They want to have all that you can have. They can't have your melanin unless they delete you and take it. And you know what I mean by delete, huh? They encourage you when you go in with fibroids to take out the whole womb. They encourage you to do this. Where does that womb end up going? What are they experimenting on your womb for? Why do they take it? Why is that the first line of defense when you have fibroids, when you know that there's other things you can do to reduce and eliminate that? Black woman, they know that your engine, your internal organs, your parts are the strongest parts in the whole wide world, being the mother of civilization, the original of the planet. They know this, but they don't want you to know this. They want you to not know this and feel as though you are the lowest. This is why they would never show a dignified woman of truth and push her as the high moral standard of the planet. They have to take the highest and reduce you to the lowest, and you can show every part of your crotch, every bump around your nipple, every part of the lips that bring life into the world, and you're shaking it up, exposing yourself as a buffoon, as a sex toy, as a sex object, just an object of pleasure. Yes, for the man who is righteously with that woman as she's covered in the world, her pleasures are for him, and her pleasures are beautiful. And there's no other thing out here who has what you have, but there's more to you than just what pleasure you can bring. Do you order a plate at a five-star restaurant, a nice plate with a variety of gourmet food, and get a dessert, and when all the food and dessert comes, throw the plate down and eat the dessert? So they encourage our black men to see our sisters as only objects of pleasure. And then some of those fools treat them so bad, and all of a sudden, when they want to get a passport, they say, well, I don't want to be bothered with this woman. I'm going somewhere else to go with another woman. And guess what? The powers that be and the perverse hierarchies over the world, they're clapping. dumb nigga fool. We got you where we want you. You hate your own woman. You don't want to be with your own woman. You look at your woman like she's damaged goods. But if she's damaged goods, brothers, it's because we made her that way. Call me a simp if you want. But if you just see your sister as an object of pleasure, who's the fool here? Because you're not building a nation when you think that way. You're not building a community when you think that way. You're not building a family when you think that way. And you'll just be another old ass player at 50 and 55 and 60 looking for somebody for real to love you when you just didn't want the real love and cultivate that in her from the beginning. Because see, you don't value your sister. If I gave you old Yugo or one of them 1986 Hyundai Excels, that's when Hyundai was junk. Hyundai came up now. But if I gave you an old 1980, was it 86 or 87? I think it was 86, but it could be 87. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those cars were so cheap that people bought them just to say they have a new car. But I know somebody who drove the car off and the whole dashboard fell in on them. And you had those Yugos. They were less than $4,000, brand new. But how many do you see around now? But you know, you got the Jaguars and the Benzes and the Lamborghinis. Now, see, if I told you, hey, invest your money to bring back that old 1987 Hyundai Excel, you'll look at me like a fool. But if I said, hey, there's a Lamborghini with minor work that needs to be done, where is it at? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Oh, well, where is it? Because you value that. So why are we looking at our sisters like they're that old 1987 Hyundai Excel sitting up on milk crates in somebody's yard, rusted beyond measure, when you know you can't get parts for it, and whatever you spend is not worth it? It's not worth it. So why are we looking at our sisters like it's not worth it? You're a damn fool. Even the other races of people are going to honor their women. And yes, there are always exceptions to the rule. So don't come with some old TV, made for TV reality TV show foolishness as though that's real reality. Because too many of us see that as reality and we neglect our own realities. That's why our own reality is in the mess that it's in, because we don't want to take responsibility for it. No accountability. We need to personally take accountability for everything that we see around us and go on and take some time to fix it, to deal with it. And if all of us had that mentality, we'd have it back together in no time. Even the ants that you step on underfoot got more sense than you do. So we running away from our responsibility. We just want to lay up with somebody else in another country and think that's the answer. That means you a punk. You a punk, and you call me a simp for wanting to work on and uplift and help my sisters. The job that you don't want to do. Give an encouraging word instead of putting them down all the time. Show them the right way and show them that you still respect them. Even though they might be hanging out of their clothes now, it's because of the state of their mind. And instead of saying just cover up, you look at her as though she's a harlot or a whore, but you're damn sure ready to jump on that ass if she said, baby, come on over here and get a taste of this. And you got a decision to make. Are you going to be a dog and just look to get some glorified friction from a glorified friction provider? Or are you going to pull it to the side and say, sister, you are beautiful and you are quite desirable, but that is your body. Let's talk to you about your mind. Invite her out. Take her to dinner. Sit down and talk with her. Let her know how beautiful she is, but her beauty is not for everybody. Sisters, instead of saying the black man's no good, take time with your fine self and give him some respect in a world that does not want to give us any respect at all. At every single turn, even by our own. That's no excuse to not strive to be the biggest and the best. Because I know every single day I strive to be a better version of myself, incrementally better than I was the day before. What happened to us building each other up? Because these people out in the world, they're definitely looking to tear us down as a community, as a family, and as individuals. It's an all-out war. But we're like that frog and that lobster in the water that it felt cold at first, but it doesn't matter, but it feels warm now. And we just hanging out in the water. Not that we can really get out, but we don't really understand what a sense of urgency we need to have, because there's some fire under that water and we're about to get cooked. We're about to get cooked. Some of us have tried to get out and realized that there was fire there and got burnt. And you see the way the world is going, where they're giving others so-called rights. Did I say anything wrong yet? No, I didn't. I said others. I know you're having a good time with this, YouTube staff. You ain't get me yet, and you won't get me. If you want to get me, come on to Patreon, but you can't do a damn thing over there. So while we're fighting each other, instead of building each other up, because where is this fighting going to lead to? It's going to lead to a black family that's destroyed, because so many of our black families are already destroyed. And we got brothers talking about, oh, these single mothers, they're so terrible for our community. But who pumped the sperm up inside of their belly and ran away like a track star to make them a single goddamn mother? Come on, man. We got to stop the blame game. We got to take accountability to the point where we have been so disconnected that we now have to go over and above. And instead of working on our families immediately, we got to see each other as family. You got to see that single mother. And you got to make up to her for what was done to her, regardless of the circumstances, regardless if she was out there hard for a while until she realized better. There's something that needs to be corrected in our communities and in our worlds, because the government-sponsored perversion is the new moral standard enforced on the planet, and it's going to be enforced at a corner near you. So while we're arguing with each other, we don't have the time to show our children the proper moral standard. We don't have time to sit down with them and do their homework with them and make that connection with them. Most of our sisters have not fed their children with the breast. A lot of them didn't know. I understand that. But it doesn't end at the breast, even if you fed them or breastfed them. It continues on, holding their hand, telling them about the world, doing the homework with them, and even still pulling them out of these schools and doing the homeschooling as we should. But we understand that money is a big part of this equation. And some of us cannot do it. I'm not faulting you on that. But if you can get into what they're learning and add something onto it and quietly correct what is wrong, letting them know they're teaching you this in school, but this is the real deal, baby. This is not right what they're teaching you here. But you go on and play the game and slip through the cracks and get their high school diploma, get their degree if you need to fit into the system to serve your people. I'm not going to sit here and knock anybody who's been to college, but don't go to college and go fit into a system that's diametrically opposed to you. Go on and get that knowledge and bring it back home to us. But see, we got a problem with us. You see, if we got a plumber that we know does plumbing work and he lives around the corner and he's unemployed by the oppressor, we look down on him. We don't want that Negro in our house. He's unemployed, which means he's unacceptable to us. But we're so sick, because the minute that same unemployed plumber works for the oppressor and drives the oppressor's shiny van and wears the oppressor's nice uniform, you welcome him on into your home. Oh, it's the plumber. but you didn't want to see nothing about him. Same plumber, same skill. So what does that tell you? We've got to look to help out the people in our community first. Do you think those that Kanye West had a problem with? Did I say anything wrong? They do it. They keep it all at home. And they look out for each other. And whether the dollar crashes or not, they don't care about it, because you know what? They all gonna share their life force with each other. Life force, that thing that we have that's so powerful, but we don't know where to direct this life force. So we go on into a job and we give all of our sweat, blood, and tears, coming home tired. We gave our abilities and our skills to a person who despises us, but they use us, or rather a system that despises us. And we trade off our life force for pieces of paper. Brother Dave Wren said it so wonderful the other night, and I suggest that you listen to that video. But we trade it off, and all we have is pieces of paper that they can manipulate the value on. So you can have $10,000 in your pocket, but guess what? They can crash the markets until it's worth 50 cents if they wanted to. But they still have your life force and benefited from it. I'm making up words here. Benedict Arnold, maybe, is what I wanted to say. Turncoats. Because many of us, even my Freudian slips, have wisdom, y'all. Turncoats amongst us. Those who talk the talk. And they don't walk the walk. They just act like they walk the walk. They talk, they get on YouTube, they get on social media, and make all these righteous quotes. But they're there as a membrane between the oppressor and you, who are working hard and trying to make your ends meet, to keep you down. And when you do speak out and have a little bit of talent, they don't want to be bothered with you. I don't want to be bothered with you either. I don't need to learn your handshakes. I don't need to clan up with your insecure asses. I'm a dynamo. I'm a tank. I'm a missile all by myself. So you sit there and hate, but I'm not afraid to come out on the front lines and say what I have to say. I just have to say it a certain way, because on YouTube, I'm in somebody else's house. Accountability. You punks who do all kind of things to get into these groups. And then you want to push your nose like you better than somebody else, like you know something more. You got secrets. You're damn right you got secrets. For you to get in, even in those organizations, you had to tear them butt cakes open or put something in your mouth that you ain't used to putting in your mouth. I know all about you. So you think I want to be part of that? Heck to the no. I was born independent and I was born free. Born free, as free as the wind blows. And a lot of you act like you're free, but you're not. You might have the advantage of getting the trappings of the world and have a few more things that may be a little more expensive than what most people can get. But at what cost? You're shackled, chained through the ankles, chained at the wrist, like when they transport so-called inmates from one area to another, to work on the chain gang, to work on the side of the highway. When they transport you, they got to shackle you up so you don't get away. So now you who have these secret ways of communicating to each other, you shackled. You shackled. And you think that's a party I want to go to? No, I'm not coming to that party. I am my own damn party. And we here who are independent, who feel the same way, we don't need you for jack. The secret, the gig is up. Please stay away from me like you have been doing. Because when you come to me, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to ask you certain questions right there on the camera. And most of y'all will come off like Ralph Cramden. Humada, 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 humada. So these people who act as the membranes between them, the oppressor, and acting like us who are thinking righteous, they can't say anything against the government-sponsored perversion that is the new moral standard enforced on the planet. They can't. They're hogtied. They got to be quiet. A lot of them know that it's wrong. And a lot of them had to do them deeds and that perversion to get in them groups. Come on now. You all know what SCURV ain't stupid. You know I can sit there as much as I talk and be quiet and observe your ass. Next week, I'll be 60 years old. You think I spent all that time being stupid? I knew about things from a long time ago. And now it's time at the proper place, at the proper time to let it all hang out. I am where I want to be, nice and quiet and left alone. All right? So I have to say, I don't care who likes it, but I stand with Uganda. I stand with Uganda. Joe Biden is saying all types of things about Uganda, that if you don't accept the perversion in your country, if you don't take away these laws that you're proposing that will criminalize certain perverse things. Oh, in case YouTube, if you forgot, the definition of perversion is sexual behavior that is considered abnormal or unacceptable. So if you want to get mad at somebody, go to the Oxford Language Dictionary, because they put that out there. They said that. This is what's being taught in your schools. It's not me. I didn't say it. I'm merely repeating something that you uphold as the truth. So if you try to strike me, you need to go and try to sue them, right? But you can't do that. It'll be a matter of time before they change the definition. But I'm saying this now, so when they do, you can look back on this and say, hey, what happened? But like I said, the president of Uganda is not going for certain things over there. That is another country, another sovereign nation. How dare you, America, go over there and think you can dictate to them what they should and should not do? No matter what is going on in different countries, they have a right to run themselves, right? They have a right to cater to the people that live there. If the people that live there don't want that, why are you pushing that over there? See, those are black people over there. And those who are indulging in the perversion, chances are black, because you have them sprinkled over there. You got them over here in Ghana too. But is that what it takes you to care for a black man or black woman? Is that they get into the perversion when you're shooting them down with these perverse police officers, locking people up with these perverse laws, giving everybody else certain leeway into having certain protection and rights, Asian hate. Really? As though you haven't had black African hate all these hundreds of years in that country. But you're not going to make a law against yourself because you know what you have in your heart against us. And of course, the people who have the handshakes are going to go along and be quiet, not say a damn thing. Expose it. Be about it. Talk about it. Oh, you talk about this racial stuff every day so much, SCURV. I live it every day. And even though I'm over here and not around it as much, my people are still over there, so I still have to talk about it. If it don't go away, I'm going to keep on talking about it. And if you don't like it, don't come over to this channel. If you want more of it, go to LanceScurv over at Patreon. Believe that. Because now we're amping it up. Now we're switching gears, and now we're going to go on harder. So we're going to play this game shrewd with skill. But the only way you care about black people is if you want to push the perversion in another country and build up this way of speaking against them so you can really go over there and get the resources. It ain't about the beautiful rainbow that's in the sky that's been hijacked. It's about the resources. And you hate any country and any leader and any president over the country that says we ain't going for this. All of a sudden, you have Kamala Harris coming over to Ghana to give $100 million for whatever reason, dangling money in the face of the leaders here to break them down to accept certain things because they say they don't go for certain things here. But I don't know. That money can sure change minds, but it ain't changing mine. And a lot of people here, it ain't changing their mind. And they're highly insulted. Look, some of the people here got some serious issues to deal with. But I would not want to be one to be on the front lines to promote that perversion, because there's a lot of people out here, they ain't going for it. They ain't going for it. I'm just like the weatherman. I'm just telling you if it's going to rain or not. Don't be mad at me if I told you it was going to rain and you forgot to bring an umbrella and you got wet. That's not my fault. I told you. There are people out here that are vehemently not going for it, who will do things that I would probably not do. They ain't going for it. And there's so many people here and so much country here. I'm not going to say to hide out in, but it'll be pretty hard, especially when most of us have the same complexion and so many resemble each other. Be pretty hard. Keep that over there with you. There's no way that you can compare what you're so-called going through. What are you going through? Who's stopping you from what you want to do? From doing what you want to do? Who's stopping you? And are people going into your bedroom and stopping you from using that extra bit of KY jelly in the orifices that are made for waste to come out of? Or did I say anything wrong? Isn't there an orifice that we have for waste to come out of? Right? We do have that, but that's an entrance for most people who are into those things. Like I said, you can see a black woman and she has life coming out of her, but there's no life coming out of a man's anus. I'm sorry. Prove it to me. YouTube, if you don't like it, prove it to me. Show me where there's life coming out of a man's anus. The most that comes out of there is fertilizer you can use as manure around the base of your plants. That's it. I am so sick of this world, the way it is, the engineered world. I'm sick and tired of this place. It's annoying to me now. Now it's getting to be too much. Now you're crossing the line because you're going to compare an illness, a mental illness. 1973, they wiped it off the books that certain perversions were a mental illness. Am I wrong? Did I say anything wrong? If you don't see me for the next week or two, you know what happened. Just come on over to Patreon. And we're going to do something. We're going to call it out on YouTube that we have a right to express ourselves. The world is a much different world than what I thought it would be. But who am I? It doesn't have to be what I thought it would be. But God dog, you don't hop on a plane to go to Kenya and find yourself in Iceland, and then they want you to be or shut up about it when you're not where you're supposed to be. I mean, we always had issues in the world, and we always had issues in the black community. But I remember a time when you would go to a church service. Yes, I've been in church from young. I'm not in it now, but there's certain things that may be good. Look, as much as I get up on the black church, I mean, my God, that's better than what's going on out in the world. But what pisses me off is that many in the black church who call themselves pastors and leaders and preachers got no damn balls to say what is right. So who really is your God then? Because half of them got the secret handshakes going on and they don't give a damn about you. It's only the money they can extract from you to bring to the white man to build up their society. Most of the churches that I've been in past 1983, and I say that because that's when crack first came around, depending on where you live in the country. Some would say 84, late 82, whatever. I remember the crack era. It's still going on, but I remember when it first came. It truly was an epidemic. And of course, we have others who don't look like us who got caught up in it, but that's not my issue. The majority of us and where it was aimed is black people. Latino is a new word. So I'm not even going to acknowledge that at this particular point. You all are just black people who know how to swim, like Paul Mooney said, the late, great Paul Mooney. So that was aimed at us to take us out. We're still here. You see how resilient we are? Some of us beat it and came back out of it. And see, for some reason, there's something about us now that's happening that is hard to explain. I'm going to explain it this way. This artificial thing called time, doesn't it feel different now than it did before? Doesn't it feel that time lingered on a little longer? The sunsets took a little longer. The morning sun coming up before noon took a little longer. Everything is moving so fast. These devils are manipulating things on so many different levels, more than what we're aware of. There's so many things that are out there now to take us off of this planet, to wipe us off the face of the earth. But we're like that frog or the lobster in the water. We don't feel it strong enough. Plus, we're so distracted. The phone in our hand is by design. It can be used as a thing for progress. But even when you use it for progress, something grabs you along and pulls you off course. You got to have a real strong mind to get on the phone on your internet and not get pulled off course. When I get on, I have a purpose. I'm not going to sit there and scroll around and look at girls' butts all day until the day is over. I got bigger things to do. I know what a butt feels like. I know that in my life I've had to earn it. Even in the times that I didn't, I understood what it was. And I didn't stay in that place in my life. I'm here now. I'm even pissed off at that time in my life when I was around a lot of women. Not that the women did anything bad, but the time that I spent, because I still had a knowledge inside of me, but at least it's coming out now. We're so distracted. And they're putting in place laws where you can't even say certain things, but they are mad at a country that's keeping it real for what they need. They ain't going for it. You want to push it, they ain't going for it. So what you gonna do? Go in there with tanks and planes and bombs and say everybody has to take it in the anus and wave a flag, the colorful flag? We'll call it that now, the colorful flag. And just give up our manhood like that? This is what I've been saying for years. You go back and look at my older videos. And I've always spoken about this before. YouTube is in damn existence. That black masculinity is a crime in this world. Being a black man, not just a male, because you're born with your penis. That's standard equipment when you are a male. It don't mean you're a man. A man is morally upright, and he knows how to lead, and he has vision, and he has the balls to go ahead with that vision, no matter what the opposition says, or no matter how much they threaten you. You can only kill me one time. You can only kill me one time. I'm not even worried about when that time is, because I don't even think you're going to do that. I'm going to expire righteously. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not scared of what you say. Oh, rights that you're going to take away. What rights you going to take away the sun from shining on me every day? You're going to take away the right for me to plant my own plants and have a wife that's building up a garden of Eden in my backyard where I can eat, even when you shut your supermarkets down with your fake GMO food that's killing us off anyway? I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of being out of your system where I know I can do for myself. I can barter off my skills with others. I'm afraid of that? No. See, you got a problem with me because I got too much confidence for you. And I know exactly what to do to sustain myself. And I'm not duped into thinking I need all your rubies and baubles and gadgets and shiny red things like most Negroes like. I don't need it. I've had every type of vehicle that there is to have in my life. But I love my feet and I love my bike. So if I don't have that, no problem. You're not going to lure me in with anything. You tried sending me all kind of women to lure me in, get me caught up, and it ain't work. So damn, how you going to get me? How you going to get me? Well, let's wait till he expires and ignore him. I'm not trying to say I know anything more than anybody else, but I like to motivate. I like to be thought-provoking. I want to make you think. If that's all I can do, then good. Let it be that. Every football team or basketball team or any sports team, even a boxer, needs a motivational force behind them, see, to keep them going. I may not be a scholar who can bring out facts off the top of my head. I may not be an athlete who can go out there and perform and make millions of dollars. But really and truly, do you have to be that? Especially with those who do make millions of dollars, wouldn't give a damn to donate to somebody who's building a school or doing something worthwhile because they can't. Wake up and look at the system for what it is. When the enemy gives you money, you better not use any of that money to help your people. You better not. You better give it to a church where the church is getting money to go right on back to the community that don't look like you. But you can't get none of it to do anything you have to do. And most of us are so much into the name brand stuff, just like we were into the name branding on the plantation. If the Johnson plantation had more slaves or more who were enslaved, but I'll say slaves because most people love being a slave. Most Negroes love it. Well, I'm part of the Johnson plantation, and talking to another slave from another plantation. Well, we bigger than we pick more cotton than you do. We better than you. My name Johnson. And so you wearing this name brand stuff on yourself and pushing your nose at your up at your brother and sister who may not have that foolishness on them. Many who talk righteous do the same thing. Well, Lance, if you left the country, why did you go to Africa? Couldn't you have gone to someplace better? It's a third world nation. I don't know of more of a third world nation than the United States of America, spelled with 3 Ks. Is that the epitome of luxury? Where you got to come outside your house and be afraid that the cops are going to shoot you down when they pull you over? People accusing you of stealing things when you go into the store. And yes, I know we got the wayward brothers, but they love the wayward brothers who ain't got no sense. Because those are the ones that they put up on the news every night and make us all look bad and try to season our minds that we're all criminals to the point we're scared of each other. But who's any more of a criminal than the presidents of these nations, and especially the president of the United States? You better accept the fact that when you become president of the United States, that you are a certified criminal. But they're not going to tell you everything that they do all over the world. They're not going to tell you all the deaths and murders that they've done to take the resources and bring it back for them, and it ain't serving you nothing. And then we have patriotic people who some of them didn't know what they were getting into. And some of them didn't even care. I'm here to serve my country and to protect for our safety and security. Well, if you live in a house and you getting all kind of rocks getting thrown through your windows or whatnot, you got to wonder why are people doing this to our house? There's somebody in the house out there doing something they shouldn't be doing. They're robbing and they're stealing and they're murdering, and the world around your house knows that they live there. So now you hire other people. You get other people now. Oh yeah, we're patriotic. We have to fight keep our freedoms. No, you did something. People gonna be coming after you. I like to sleep good at night. I like to sleep until I wake up. I like to sleep to the point that if I hear a noise outside, not on my property, but you hear something, you're not jumping up because I have peace of mind. But many people don't have peace of mind. And the presidents and the governments that you vote for foolishly, they're not going to tell you what they do all over the world, but they got their bunkers to go underground. They got their planes that they can hop on when doo-doo hits the fan. And you'll be caught in that. Even the nation's debt, like Brother Dave Wren said, it's not the government that has to pay that back, it's you. How much trillions of dollars? And nobody wants to be bothered with America no more, the BRICS nations. They're not acknowledging that as being the standard. But you foolishly, I'm going to make this money. Money, it ain't going to be worth nothing. You need to be thinking about getting yourself up out of there, whether you stay there or not, and put yourself in a better position, especially showing unity to the families and community and individuals that are trying to keep you apart from. We're in our own world. What's the group there? MGTOW, men going their own way. Black men saying this. I mean, there's some white men saying this, but men going their own way. Where the hell are you going away from your woman? You need your woman. Your woman needs you. I don't care how much money she makes in the system and tells you, she needs you. You need to stop this foolishness. We didn't have no mess like this years ago. And it was a lot better. We had more married couples in the Black community. I understand this situation sometimes. We get with people who are not compatible. We already have a child together, whatever. I understand that. But the majority from back in the 50s and 40s and 30s, see, we needed each other back then. Y'all never saw them old copies of Jet magazine that I used to see. See, you know, I was born in 63, but I knew men who were older, barbershops that were older. They had old Jet magazines from back in the 30s and 40s sitting around where they actually graphically showed things. It wasn't just this glossed over, yes, we are making it as bourgeois blacks, we are making it whatever have you, and we're worse off than we ever were before, and it's 2023. What the hell is wrong with you? What you been smoking? You look down on crackheads, but most of us are so blind, we might as well be a damn crackhead because we don't see what's going on around us. We don't understand and don't want to understand. Would you take a meal from somebody who wants to kill you? Oh, I know they want to kill me, but they sure make some good mashed potatoes and fried chicken. I want to get me one of them plates. Don't you think there's going to be poison in there? Don't you think they're going to poison our children's minds to accept all types of perversion as the new moral standard? Like we corny because we believe that the union between one man and one woman is the epitome of what the Creator wants. But that's being played out. Now we have to embrace other things that wasn't even around like that. Yeah, they were doing stuff, but now they're coming as a unified force. I'm telling you straight up what I feel. There is a supernatural spirit and entity and a bunch of entities on this planet that's very jealous and envious of what we have from what the Creator gave in the laws that were put down. And they're jealous of us. They know that we feel in great peace when we have this union. As a man, there's no better feeling than watching your kids happy, running around in the yard and running around in the house. There's no better feeling than when you come home from what you do to maintain yourself on a financial level called work or earning or both. That when that door opens up and they say, Daddy, oh my God, that is one of the best feelings in the world. And you come home and you see your wife happy at home. And she's happily cooking a meal because she knows that she has to keep you refueled up because you know you got to go out there and knock the world out there for her. And she knows that. You are her hero and the children's hero. You are the epitome of manhood. You'll take a bullet for them anytime. You'll give your life for them anytime. Your whole essence is to set them up for the rest of their lives so that unfortunately an accident happens or an assassination happens. They are steady in their world, that they don't have to worry. They don't want that type of thing. They want to insert these superheroes in the cartoons now. See, the cartoons weren't as jacked up back in the day when I was coming up. But now they want to tell you that Robin of Batman and Robin ain't the Robin that it used to be. Josie, and was it Josie? Scooby-Doo. What's her name? That she's a carpet muncher, right? Now, if you get to a certain age and there's certain things you want to do behind closed doors, I don't know about it. You go ahead and do what you do. But don't go after the traditional standards of what should be that held us together. We have some kind of weird monster thing that shot up 6 people in Maryland. And they're getting a break from the press because of what they identify as. You see how this wicked world, the engineered world, is propping this stuff up? So both can't be up. One's got to go down if one goes up. They're trying to push this on countries now. They're sending people like Kamala Harris to Ghana to push certain agendas. Nobody wants to hear about Dwayne Wade, you know, with his son turning him into a daughter, and Gabriel Union, who is all sold out in Hollywood. Of course, she's going to say that stuff and get a presidential award. That's child abuse. Call it for what it is. But you're afraid to do it. I don't hear no pastors talking about it. I see one online talking about it. I'm surprised this stuff is up. He goes in. But these other ones with the little whatever C qualification with the taxes, whatever, and they don't want that taken away. Come on, y'all, help me. I'm rolling. What's the thing there? 5043C or whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm jacking it up. But they don't want to lose that, so they got to shut up. But they teaching God's word, right? And I'm not saying God in the Caucasian manner. I'm using it as a form of verbal shorthand, the creator, the universe, the life, whatever you want to call it. I'm not pushing Christianity on you because that was used to go against us also. But you claim to be speaking truth. Why are you getting up and going to these churches when I mean, you're being mentally castrated? You're being mentally castrated and subservient. You're supposed to be, as a man, a warrior. Why is it that in church, these churches, these black churches, we have these little obedient, subservient-minded men? You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be walking upright. You're supposed to be a sight to behold when you walk down the street. I remember back in the late 60s and early 70s, as a little boy, I'd see the Nation of Islam walking down the street, and they were different than the Christian brothers that I saw. They walked upright. They looked like they will kick your ass if you get in a line, but they were very respectful to you if you were respectful to the people around. I remember seeing brothers, 3 of them. It was on Lenox Avenue. It was in Manhattan, up in Harlem. There was a church lady who got out of the car and she was kind of walking with a walker, and they stopped and they helped her open up the door and walked in the church until she sat down. And the pastor said something to them in a very appreciative manner, that we still worked along with each other, even though we had different ideologies. We understand that we're looked at the same way, and we can figure those things later on. But too many of you high-class Negroes, I'm a Methodist, and I am a Seventh-day Adventist, and what the hell are any one of y'all doing for the community? What are you doing? Nothing. I don't care how much turkeys you give it on Thanksgiving. You shouldn't be celebrating Thanksgiving anyway. But you don't have nothing to say about these government-sponsored perversions. Nothing. Ain't that a damn? So as much as you say, I stand up for the word of God, and God this and God that, I say, God damn, get up off the pulpit. You don't belong there, punk, because you're not fighting the real battles that need to be fought. You see how they're moving in on our children and trying to twist their minds up, encouraging them, making them feel like they ain't what they are. Young man, come here. Do you really feel like you're a man, a young man? Do you feel, we need to get them some chemicals. We need this, we need that. I mean, this system is a pervert. The system is a child molester now. It's out in the open. And people who were saying it years ago, you were coming down on them. Oh, don't leave those people alone. They're not bothering you. Oh, but they plan to bother you. And see, people like me at my age, they say, okay, a couple of decades from now, he'll be out of here. I hope I live a long life. I'm gonna be a needle up in your ass for as long as I'm here. Trust me, because I ain't afraid to walk the way I'm supposed to walk. And anybody who has made a misjudgment or have done something in the past, maybe you were locked up, you might have been on with the colorful flag people years ago. It's never too late to straighten up. Straight family pride. Straight black family pride. Straight black family pride. There's something that's against you and you don't realize it. You took your straight black family pride for granted. Remember shows like Good Times. Man, if that was today, there'd be people all up in there doing all kind of perverse things and they have to accept it, right? The father on Good Times, John Amos, he don't exist these days. Show me the strong black male, hardworking family man that comes home. He wasn't out there running around with women. He wasn't around there running around with men who wear dresses. He came home and didn't make much, but he brought it on home and he loved his wife and his wife loved him and the kids loved the parents. And wasn't none of them confused. Now, in real life, there was one that later on, I believe, was a little confused, but that's another thing. They didn't portray that. That little boy there, Michael, ripped that picture off the wall and put the black Jesus up on the wall. At least that's a start. They wouldn't do that now. They have you all over the place thinking you're something that you're not. Confused, and you're so entangled in this thing, and that spirit has gotten into you. Now we're all walking around mentally sick with this foolishness. And somebody's laughing. Somebody who doesn't want the natural order of man and woman and sperm and egg and commitment and love. And I'm staying with you to build a family so we can build a community. It's not just there. They don't want us to have the real food. You got this GMO food and they're trying to tell you why it's better. And you run around here talking about, well, I don't like no watermelon with seeds anyway. The seeds get in the way. Well, food without seeds, you ain't going to get no more watermelon. And that stuff is not even real. I had cut it in half. I got one of those fake ones with no seeds and put it out in the backyard for 2 days. Not a fly, not an ant crawled on it. It was true. Because I saw the thing on Facebook where they had the bananas, the GMO and the real. And the real one got eaten down quick. They ain't mess with that other one, right? Because there ain't no life in that one. It's not programmed for your body. It's not made for your body. You got to understand that. This stuff is not programmed, what they're pushing for life force. Chopping off your genitals, taking some hormones. This earthly ride is wonderful, but it ain't that long. And you're going to waste your time doing this stuff. And then what? A glorified a trick or treat, wearing a costume, but the costume is your body. And I'm supposed to sit here and figure out the pronouns and the words. And you done made up all these different things. Now, if I say it the wrong way, you want to make me lose my job. If I say it the wrong way, you want to say I'm hating. That's your confusion. It ain't mine. If I see a man, well, that's a man. If I see a woman, that's a woman. And you want to be something else, that's on your dime. Who's supposed to pay for that? But you got perverse people out here who like that stuff. Those sugar daddies who pay for them operations. And you got to watch some of these celebrities, right? What they call celebrities in their system, the people they push. Where are the celebrities coming out and saying against this stuff with Dwayne Wade? And why is it always got to be somebody black to push the perversion? Because if we can embrace it, we'll be the first to grab it and we'll be the first to wipe ourselves off the face of the earth. What if all of our children didn't want to be who they are and mess their genitals up and mess their reproductive organs up? We can't reproduce. Now, could we? They're already shooting out all kind of weird diseases. We got these pandemics and all these different things. But what about these white celebrities adopting black children? What are y'all doing with the black children? They little babies. You training them up to do what? As perverse as you are. Adopting 10 and 12 and 15 of them. And here we go. And Oprah Winfrey, oh, it's so nice. It's so nice that you're adopting little black babies. But you don't do nothing for the children in America. But you get babies who are probably some of these children are not even registered into any government. Do you know how many people here in Ghana don't even have a Ghana ID card? They're not on the record. They were born and their mama remember the time you were born back in 1974. That's all you need to know. And they come into the system here in the bigger cities and they gotta get the stuff together. Undocumented people. So they come to countries where you have undocumented people who the parents are glad to give up the children, and you give them a little money. I'm going to take care of them and give them the best of care. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, Jesus brought this person to me, the white people, and they saved us. And your kid in another 2 or 3 years got a dick in their mouth. We have to talk it like this because this is what it is. They're grooming these children to do whatever. And these people got land and property all over the world. Who knows? Epstein? You think something like that can't happen again? It's still happening. And they're backup. They're like spare parts. You grooming this little African child to be with you sexually. But he don't know he's the first on the list to be slaughtered when you need another heart. You don't think about that, do you? You don't think about the organ theft that we're going through, do you? That's going on right now. At this very moment we're talking, somebody got a knife on them and you think it'll be nice and, well, let's just give them something to knock them out so they don't feel the pain. No, they hold you down and cut out what they need to cut out, and the hell with you if you survive or not. But they don't talk about that stuff. They want to go over to Uganda and challenge the president on his laws to keep that mess out of there. But we so screwed up with what's in our algorithm to titillate us, to keep us off point. There's a lot of things I'm learning out here. There's a lot of things I'm having access to out here. There are different people I'm communicating with out here. You think that phone number I put up there is the only phone number I have? Ain't even in my name. All right? You got to move under the radar and be careful when you have these entities come around you, because this is a wicked time. They can damn near read your mind now. They watch how you move. They watch how you talk. They already have you pegged when you talk a certain way. So I ain't trying to show up at their parties. I'm been through a whole lot in my life. I mean, a whole lot that I can just think, and it's like I'm at the movies. Because I can think back to the past on things I've been through. I don't need to be seen. I'm a ninja now. And I'm going to creatively attack the system and mess it up before I'm out of here. That's my goal, because I don't like what they're doing. I don't like what they're doing. We got to understand, even if we don't see the results right away of what we put out into the universe, it's coming back to somebody. So we got to do what we have to do on this level and reverse this stuff. But we got to separate ourselves from this stuff. Stop running out to their movies and stop running out to support these perverse so-called celebrities. Even the ones that look like us. Do you know what? Why don't they talk about this stuff? See, because if I had ever got to that point, which they would never let me get there, they'd snuff me from the beginning. I'd come out and yeah, there's consequences for it. They're going to kill you. Tupac ain't around, is he? Now, even Biggie Smalls, who didn't really say anything super righteous, they knew that young man who was so slick with the words. He had a wonderful, powerful brain on him. He would have came around and used his creative abilities to smash this thing. Even though they probably would have cut him off, he would have been so big. And look at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was down to little signals and signs and stuff, but he came out of that. He told on it. Y'all know that little videotape that he had. You got to know this. You better know this. And he talked about Elvis Presley. He talked about the system. Who's cheating him? And he named names. I already knew it wasn't too long for him then. He was too young to leave out of this world. Really and truly. Too young. Slim as he wasn't hurting himself. Yeah, he was taking that milk and that stuff to go to sleep. But look at him. Look at the pressure that was on him. What is it that he knew that we didn't know? They had to snuff him. I'm not saying they had to do that. I wish the brother was alive now to make more music and lead us out of mental slavery, because that's where he was going. But a man who from 5 years old to when did he pass away? 51 or something like that? Come on, he didn't have a break. And you want to make fun of him because he wanted to have amusement parks and stuff. He didn't have no childhood. His father was whipping him from young. Yeah, he pushed him into greatness, but at what expense? The man was in pain. He was hurting. And he relived his childhood through doing for children. And come to find out all these people are lying on him and saying that he molested and did all this stuff. They don't want to see something pure go on. And even though, back in the days, I might have had a reputation of being around a lot of women. Does that mean I'm doing that now? That's why I keep myself isolated. I know where you're going to attack me and how you're going to attack me. We got to be shrewd. We got to give it up even more. We got to have more sacrifice when we're called to do something. And don't be mad when somebody else is doing something else that they may be known a little more. There's a lot of that in the Black community. You want your time at the podium to speak and show how great you are. We need some action. Once we're programmed to know what needs to be done, then we need some action. It doesn't mean you have to go out there with the AK. I won't say the whole thing, right? There could be somebody's initials, right? It's just the slight ways that collectively we can make ourselves better, to bring ourselves up. Come on now. I've done lots of moving jobs. My father used to do a lot of moving jobs, and I know how to lift furniture and certain things. But you know what? If it's 2 people lifting things, it's better if it's 6. We can get around a vehicle right now and lift the vehicle up off the ground, but maybe one of us can't do it. So collectively, we're better off. But no, we don't think that way, because you over there, you Muslim, and that one over there, he done graduated from high school, and I didn't, and I'm too dark, and you light, and you think you better than me, whatever. So we're the most divided race on the face of the earth. Tell me what race is more divided than us on the face of the earth, and it's to whose advantage? Who's loving it? Who's loving it? They don't like us to have any unity now, do they? They love when they go in there and hear us talking about each other. They love it. Unbelievable. Listen, y'all, we can go to the chat room a little bit. The conference room a little bit. and talk about this if you all want to sign in on it and come. Well, let me get the number and put it up top. Let me just copy it straight off of this thing because I'm always jacking it up. I'm always jagging it up. Let me put this up. Give me a second. Put the number up and you can call there freely. Just mute your phone when you call in if you have any background noise because it kind of messes things up. And then when you want to talk, just come on in. But that's the number right there. Just come on in. I'll be there maybe in 5 minutes. I'll play a little music and sign off. But if you want to go there now, just go there now. We could all chop it up for a little bit and we can verbally party and talk. And we can talk there for real, for real. We don't have to hold nothing back. And I know when I go there, I don't. Last night was a fabulous conversation. Woo, I revealed some things. I don't know if the world's going to hear that one toward the end. I don't know. I was letting it all hang out. But like I said, I'm transparent. I have no problem speaking to anyone about anything. But yes, let's try to get to that number 321-521-2515. Let me just put it up here across the screen. That number right there. We can go over there. And I can get my work done while I'm talking. Okay. So that's how it helps me. And we can have a little, when we have a good show, it ends. It's like, man, I wish it kept on going longer. Before I go, does anybody want to say anything on this particular show? Let me drop the link inside too. We're going to be getting off of here. I'll wait for you. If not, we'll talk it there. Here's a link to come on in on the show. If you have any comments that you want to make on anything that I said, feel free to come in. And like I said, this is what I'm all about creatively. To smash down the lies, to be thought-provoking in many different ways. I have a style that what I have in my arsenal is not just a one-way Charlie. I'll draw a picture, make you think. I'll write something, make you think. I'll talk something on the show and make you think. We'll do a video or something. It's all about attacking the mind of those who have just been disconnected. There's so many of us that are disconnected. We don't even realize. Like I said the other night, I think it was on the conference line, that many who are around or walk around the Elmina or the Cape Coast slave dungeon, although they call it castles, don't even know what went on there. Oh, yes, my brother, I heard something terrible went on over there years ago. Something terrible? Don't you know your history? Don't you know what you're around? We got to get ourselves back on a spiritual level, awareness. I'm not talking about churchified religious foolishness. No, run away from religion. Religion is just there to shackle you. The animals don't have religion, but they know how to live out in the wild. They listen to those downloads that they get. We talk about, oh, yeah, we're safe. We have guns. We have bars on the windows. But the people are acting like we think the animals should be. Half of these animals are walking around. Where do they live? They know where to lay down and not make the rain hit them. They know they have predators in the food chain that want to eat them up. And they're just as cool as can be because they trust in the instincts. They are more spiritual than anything else. All right, we got Brother Kwame on, brother. Let me see if you opened up. The floor is yours, brother. Come on and talk to us.
How you doing, Kojo?
I'm good, brother. How are you? Talk to us, man. Talk to the people.
Not tomorrow. Yeah, everything you said, Kojo, you're absolutely right. Because we've been saying this, since for 400 years. Still, we African people, we don't understand things. We're African people, right? And for us to copy the backwardness of those who don't look like us, is a shame. I'm glad that Uganda put their foot down and said, listen here, you don't tell us how to run our business, we run our own business. We are practicing what is about us, and that it's about morality. You're teaching us the opposite. We're not interested. You go and do that where you come from, But this is Africa, the birth of civilization that teaches morals, right? It's about time as Kojo, we must follow our own principles, We must, because we don't understand, right? Islam and Christianity, these are those religions that were the ones that were involved in stripping us, oppressing us, manipulating us. We must continue where our ancestors left for us. That one, they blessed us with wisdom. 2, they blessed us with justice. 3, they blessed us with knowledge. And 4, they blessed us with respect and dignity. Where are they, Kojo? Where is it? Where is it?
You're right.
I've known you. Look at you and Mrs. SCURV. You're true, an African couple. The love you have for each other. That's what we need to do. But what these devils would like to see us do, is us that they want to see me call my sister nasty names, and vice versa. My sister calls me nasty names. These are demons, man, and we gotta wake up. You got involved in so-called mixed relationship. He ain't gonna do shit for you. He ain't gonna do shit for you. You're doing it because you don't like yourself. Be up front.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you on that.
Be up front. You involved in this relationship. Tell me, in your hand of hearts, yeah, you did it because you don't like yourself, innit? Come on, man. And you look at our homes here before I go, Kojo. It's got pictures of the so-called, someone pregnant, someone, yeah, in his own image, and then we buy into that lie. We buy into too much lies. Take it easy, my brother, yeah, as always.
Thank you, brother. Always a boost in the arm. You come with some powerful words and passion. We love you, brother. Thank you so much. So, like I said, there's a calling number right there, 321-521-2515. If you're international, I made a page with the international calling numbers with all the different countries where you can call direct, and there won't be any charge for you on those numbers. Master Glam, I know you're there. I'm going to come there soon. Miss Genre, yes. Anyway, let me sign off right now, quick, fast, in a hurry. I want to join in. We have our conversation. I'm addicted to those conversations that we have into the night. I love them. We can never get enough of them. Like I said, we got to stick together. We got to keep our minds, intact and straight. And nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop us. Nobody can get in our way. But as long as they keep us all messed up with the food and that weirdo ideologies, and they coming after our kids, no, we had our kids. We get the chance, first dibs on the minds of our children. You understand? So no, it ain't going to go down like that. But anyway, much love to you all. I will see you in a few minutes. You can go there to the conference line from now, and we'll talk. And there's no direction the conversation has to go. Wherever you want to take it, we take it. That's how we do. Peace. Much love. See you there. I'm going there in 5 minutes.
I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Oh yes sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Can't be a real nigga, might get you canceled. Fuck the whole system, need the shit dismantled. Coppers treat a nigga like the utmost wanted. Tryna rule the block, but don't know what goes on it. News got a story with a new take on me. Carrying out the window with the screw face on me. But I know that God love me when my blunt burn. 95 degrees and I can't get sunburn. Wonder when your government will make me legal. Burn the whole city if I can't be equal. Get off my dick, please, Brad, I earned that. 400 years, how you still ain't learned that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Oh yes sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Shout out to the crackers trying to gentrify the genre. Tell them free my niggas, middle finger to your honor. End of days coming down to seconds on the timer. Goofy niggas still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy a chopper, learn to grow my own food. Cause I don't like the look they give me in the Whole Foods. And when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm limping cause my dick heavy. But ain't shit sweet, niggas think we thin. My whole attitude on MC Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob, I bought that. 400 years, how you still ain't caught that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Oh yes sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out.
John Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked onto his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling with the goat. We landed here in Jamestown, Virginia, 400 years to suffer. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is black man hell. When the slave master wanted to have some sport, he would heap on our parents cruelties of the worst sort, burn them at stake, hang them on trees. His ears were deaf to our parents' pleas. Though you were pregnant, black woman, you pull the plow like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. His half-white children you were made to breed. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. So-called Negro, open up your eyes. Black man everywhere is on the rise. He has kicked the white man out of Asia, and he's going fast out of Africa. With every ounce of strength and breath, his cry is give us liberty or give us death. The whole black world has their eyes on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. So my friend, it's easy to tell, our unity will give the white man hell. God made a promise to Abraham, his seed would be a stranger in a foreign land. They would suffer and be afflicted 400 years, but he would come, wipe away their tears. Our God and Savior, Allah has come. He has declared the white man's day is done. He has given us a divine messenger, one prophesied to come. His name is Elijah. We now can stand up, the whole world to tell. Our God has come to give us heaven and take the devil into hell. Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly. Before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China he took silk and gunpowder. From India he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold. Raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. But tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell.